Hello again. It's sculpting trio time. So, sculpting trio kit that was in our May Kudos, I think it was. So we got the brush for that, um, sculpting brush, and also the palette and a little instruction booklet that comes with it that I will be working through because I haven't used a highlight and contour palette before, so I'm literally learning this as we go, which is a little nerve-wracking because I've no idea what I'm doing, but I've seen the results of this and I've seen other presenters absolutely raving about it, so I'm glad that I can finally give it a go. So first we're going to unwrap this little brush here. Get that out. We've got two ends on that, on the contour brush. So we've got an angled end and a brush end. Well, that actually, they call that the paddle end, and this is the angled end. Super soft, as all of our brushes are. So they each have an individual use. Get rid of that rubbish. And the palette here, now it does come in a few different options. Now that is dependent on your foundation colour. So when you are looking at getting one of these, be sure that you've done a colour match with me so you can make sure that you're getting the right one. Alright, so here we go. Cute little palette here. Well, that's handy. It's actually telling me which one to use where and how, which is really cool. So you flip that up and then you've got your colours under there. So each of these are for a different part of the face basically, and that's what we're going to be going through today. We're going to make sure that we use the right end of the brush with the right colour in the right places and we should be good. Alright, so let's give it a go. So what it's telling me to do first is to use the angled end of the contour brush and apply the cream contour from the corner of your mouth and down and toward the ear, so the natural contour line, and on the nose and up the top and down here to thin the face out. So let's give that a go. I'm going to be really careful with this because I don't really know how much I need to use in order to get the desired effect. So with any makeup, it takes time for you to work out exactly what you're after and how you go about getting that. So if you're wanting some more defined looks, and obviously you're going to add more product. If you want something simple and everyday, just a bit of definition, then naturally you're going to add a little bit less. So it's going to take a little bit of trial and error until I get to the point that I want, but let's see what we end up with today. This might be a bit interesting. So, but I thought it was always good to do a tutorial on me giving it a whirl for the first time. So I'm just going to dab lightly in there. I really don't know how much I'm going to need to use. No, I don't want too much because I don't think that's really getting much on there. I don't want too much. I just want a little bit. There we go. So from the ear to the mouth. So that's your natural line there. It is there. So you'll see that I do have, because I have high cheekbones, I do get slight shadowing already. It's not too bad. Let's do the other side, see how that goes. Dab that on. I'm going to blend it as well, so it's not going to be as much of a defined line by the time I'm finished. Now when I'm dabbing this, I'm only doing it really lightly, so I'm not getting much on the brush. Obviously more pressure, you're going to get more on the brush, so you might see me keep going back to the palette, but that's because I'm trying to just be really careful. I just don't want to get too much on my face, and then, oh, big chunk of it there, and then it look really bad. So I'm trying to use just what I need. It's actually not too bad at all. So that's thinned my face out, which I don't really want it to thin out too much because I do have quite a slender face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of tissue, get any excess product off that, and then just give it a bit of a blend in so it's not too dramatic. I'm liking it though. I'm liking how easy that is to apply, and very little needing to be used really. The other way I did the highlight and contour was with the BB cream. You can get a highlight and contour kit with blending buds. And that basically replaced the foundation. So that did take time to put that on as well. A lot of dabbing all over the face. This seems so much easier, and because liquid foundation is my chosen and preferred foundation, this allows me to do highlighting and contouring whilst using my favorite. So that's fantastic. So what we want to do now is we want to go down, we want to do up here. Now this narrows the face out as well, and also down here. So you're just providing a bit of shadow effect, and either side of the nose too, to thin the nose out. Now, as I say, I'm not wanting to do that too much, so I really don't want to get much on the brush when I do this. So let's take it up here and dab that on there. Now these are all the tricks of the trade. I'm not a professional, but I would still like to look nice every day. So this is why I learn all this stuff. Makes me feel good. All right, so we've got hair getting in the way. I'm just dabbing that on there, and that's sitting nicely as well. I'm happy with that. So we want to do down the chin, down here, around the jawline, as per the diagram. And also down the neck too. Not too much. Not too bad. I'm liking it. All right, so let's go with the nose. Get a bit more of this and do either side of the nose. So you're creating a shadow, slight shadow. That did work. Look at that. It's probably a little bit too much though, isn't it? Okay, nice. And just under here as well. That's what it's telling me to do, so that's what we're going to do. All right. Got this now. I've got blocked ears at the moment. Okay. I'm happy with that. Now we're going to go to the next one. So, oh, my ears are driving me crazy. So what we want to do now is it's telling me to use the paddle end, and this is for the second one in here. So this one here, oh, that one there. Now this is for the highlighting. So we've done the contouring. So we've done the element which creates the shadow and changes the look of the structure of the face. Now we want to highlight where we want it to stand out. So this one here, this one is probably the one I'm most excited about. I think it just brightens up the whole face. So we're going to try and not go too crazy with it. It's actually got a little fleck going through it as well, which is nice. So got some on there. Alrighty, so we're going to go underneath what we've done before here. I'm going to go under here and add some highlighting. That's got a different texture to it. It's a bit more powder, where the other one's more of a cream. So it does apply like a powder. So I'm just putting that on, I feel like it's going on a lot easier than the other one. We do it down there, and we also do it down here. And the bridge of the nose. So it makes the nose stand out a little bit more. Not too much though. Now because I put the contouring on either side and I don't want my nose to look too thin, I can correct it with this one. So it's not looking too bad, but just making sure that we get enough on there. And we also want to do up here as well. Highlight up there. I'm going to highlight the chin, so underneath where you put the contouring, the first stage. So you don't want to go over the top of that, you're doing it underneath to make the chin stand out. And on the Cupid's bow as well. This is how people get fuller looking lips. It's all this stuff. There we go. And under the eyes. So if you do have bags under your eyes and you are wanting to get it looking a bit brighter underneath there, this is the way to go. Now, as I've said in one of my other videos, you can finish off your foundation with a powder, but I would recommend that if you're using the contour palette, you'd probably just stick with that, like I say, because this is a powder anyway. This step here is powder, so there we go. That's adding some nice definition and brightness, I think. I can see it. And I'm loving it. Not too bad. Last step is above the eyebrow here. So lighten up this part here. Little bits getting in the way there. Alrighty. Soon I'll be a whiz at this and it'll just be quick and easy and super simple. Alrighty. Highlighting and contouring nearly done. So that makes sense for the two ends of the brush. You certainly wouldn't want to be mixing that, so you wouldn't want to be using the same brush for both of those. The colours are miles apart. So the last step it's telling me for this shimmer here, I'm not sure if you can see that shimmer, no. It's saying to apply that with your fingers, and it actually has, it's not a lot at all you need to put on for this one, and I'll show you the picture. See, it's only a little bit of colour. Now you could use a brush as long as it's clean, you haven't used it for anything else. You could use a brush. All of mine need washing at the moment, so I'm just going to go in with the fingers like it says. And what we're doing, make sure I don't get too much on there, don't want to be too shiny. We're going down the centre of the nose. Yeah. And we are doing Cupid's bow. It does make it stand out, doesn't it? That's actually a bit creamy too, so it's not just a powder. It's actually got a little cream element to it. Feels like butter. Feels really good. We want to do under the eyebrows as well. Make that stand out a little bit more. And on the other one. And under here. Get a little bit of shimmer happening. Now this, I'd say for a night out, you would probably want to put it on a bit thicker, make it a bit more bold. You know when they say you do a night out, you wear big bright lipstick, big eyelashes, smoky eyes, all of that jazz. You might want to go a little bit more extreme with the contouring, but for everyday use, which is what I'm trying to pull off, because I'm certainly not going out anywhere anytime soon with being pregnant. Yeah, for a night out, you go a little bit more, that's it, a little bit more intense. So that is the highlight and contour. This light, I don't know how much you can see on that, but I can see that's worked an absolute charm. And like I was saying, with the highlight and contour kit being the BB cream, that's a full face. That's all over. So you're putting the 2 BB creams in those spots that I've just focused on for step 1 and step 2, and then using the blending bud to blend all of that in. This would be much quicker, everyday use in the morning, bang it on where I need to, and off I go. So for me and what I've just done, I would be happy to make that a little bit more extreme, not so much under the cheekbones for me, but maybe up the top, and also I wouldn't do anything else to my nose. Maybe the highlighting, bring out the highlighting a bit more. That's what I would do differently. But considering that is the first time I've given it a whirl, that's actually not too bad at all. I'm quite happy with that. So I'll keep you posted on how I go, and I'll try and post some videos as well and let you know how I'm going with it, and whether I have gone a bit more extreme, and I might even be able to post some failures if I come across those. I'm sure I will. It's all part of playing with makeup. So look, any questions, don't hesitate to give me a yell. Happy to help where I can. And if you are looking at purchasing the Sculpting trio, then have a chat to me about your colour match if you haven't already done so I can make sure that you do get the right one. That's super important. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that's been helpful, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.